If the government is allowed to own firearms and the people are not allowed to own firearms, the people are not in control of that country.
You represent a purple state, but it's a state where gun rights are important.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you?
Well, for me, I think the Second Amendment is fundamental to a free society. If the government is allowed to own firearms and the people are not allowed to own firearms, the people are not in control of that country. You look at a society and tell me who's allowed to own firearms, and I'll tell you who's in charge of that society. And if the people are not allowed to own the means of self-defense, we're not citizens, we're subjects. And we've seen this in society after society, that when the people are disarmed, the next stage is tyranny. The next stage is, and it may not happen overnight, it may happen gradually, but when the guns are pointed at, in one direction at the people from the government, before you know it, we will be a police state, and the people won't be able to stand up for themselves. And so that's why in the Maine Senate, one of the very first things I did when I got elected, I sponsored and we passed constitutional carry, giving Maine people back their Second Amendment rights without the need for a government permission slip to exercise them. That's something that we passed with Republicans in control of the Senate, but also Democrats in control of the House. We managed to pass this in a bipartisan way to get our freedoms back. And I'll tell you, it wasn't just because I went to a bunch of politicians and asked nicely. It was because the people back home rose up, put pressure on their legislators, called and emailed and told them, give us back our freedoms or we're not re-electing you. And you know what? That's the thing at the end of the day the politicians listen to, because every politician is worried about one thing, and how the ballot turns out on election day.